Lemonada.
Amazon Health AI presents Painful Thoughts.
Why did I search the internet for answers to my cold sore problem? Now I'm stuck down a rabbit hole filled with images of alarmingly graphic sores in various stages of ooze. I can clear my search history, but I can never unsee that.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. Amazon Health AI gets you the right care, fast. Healthcare just got less painful.
Guys, we got to talk about your secret late-night internet searches. You know the ones: bumpy leg rash, hair loss, itchy bum. Trying to figure out your body by endlessly searching for answers. We all do it, and it never works. Thankfully, there's Amazon Health AI.
It can connect your symptoms with your medical history to offer personalized care 24/7. So call off the search. Amazon Health AI is here. Healthcare just got less painful. Hello and welcome to Happier, a podcast where we talk about how to be happier. This week we'll talk about why you should treat yourself like a grandchild and a helpful tip if, like me, you're trying to do certain things every day. I'm Gretchen Rubin, a writer who studies happiness, good habits, and human nature. I'm in my little home office here in New York City, and joining me today from Los Angeles is my sister Elizabeth Kraft. And Elizabeth, I love to treat you like my grandchild.
That's me, Elizabeth Kraft, a TV writer and producer living in LA. And Gretch, I think that means giving me a lot of Pop-Tarts and Sunkist, because that's what our grandparents did for me.
They sure did. Oh my gosh.
And it's still such happy memories.
Oh my God. Remember the time when you and I bought Pop-Tarts ourselves like 3 years ago?
Yes.
Yes. So we just had to revisit Pop-Tarts.
So good.
But first, some updates. Cheryl writes, my yearly happier list always includes reading more. And this year, I finally committed with 26 minutes per day, and the unbelievable has happened. I am now reading 1 to 2 hours a day and am loving it. The slow read with Simon Hassel lit my fire, and I'm doing a deeper dive into the Napoleonic Wars. Other reading has followed. A friend called me a voracious reader, which honestly took me by surprise. This is wonderful.
Yes, Cheryl, I love this for you.
And if anybody doesn't know, Simon Hassel does these slow reads. Last year, our whole family did the slow read of War and Peace. Elizabeth, are you doing the slow read of or are you just reading the Cromwell trilogy? Wolf Hall. You're doing the slow read of Wolf Hall. He's got lots of choices. And this is the thing about reading, is that often when you start reading regularly, you start reading more. It's easy for reading to fall out of our daily schedules, but once you put a little bit in there and really get it solid, it gets easier to read more and more, if that's something that you want to do, which a lot of people really do.
Yes. And then, Gretch, this comes from Hayden. He says, I love this show and have been listening for years. I've never written in before, but felt inspired by the discussion of the flossing demerit. I have hated flossing since I was a child and could never get the habit for it. My father used to always have a floss pick or a toothpick in his mouth, and once I started using them myself, it allowed me to not mind flossing and do it regularly. My partner is the poster child for good flossing habits. He does it daily or twice a day and always critiques me about not using actual rolls of dental floss. I finally showed him my thought process by sharing that if I didn't use the picks, I wouldn't be flossing at all. Since then, it's a small habit we both do differently, but shows how we can achieve the same result in 2 different ways. P.S. The try this at home for going through all of your pants is being done at my home this week, but different as a Floridian. I have 5 pairs of pants, but over 30 pairs of shorts.
Yes.
So he's going to be trying on all of his shorts.
Could be cardigans, right?
Yes.
Well, I love this, which is no tool fits every hand. And it's sort of like, what's the best kind of exercise? The exercise that you actually do.
Yep.
And so this is great to realize there's often many ways to achieve an aim. And sometimes you have to experiment a little bit or accept the fact that different people are going to achieve that aim in different ways. And that's okay. So I love that.
Gretchen, talking about flossing always feels indecent to me, but
yes,
it's necessary.
It does, right? It feels very intimate, right? There is something about flossing. It's like talking about Yeah, well, let's not even get into it because
Other
Other
things.
things,
Yeah.
Well, our try this at home suggestion, I think is a delightful suggestion, which is to treat yourself like a grandchild.
Okay, Gretchen, explain this. It's part of our treat yourself like a toddler.
Yeah.
Treat yourself like your pet.
Yeah, we have a series of treat yourself like. And the idea of these is that sometimes by framing, reframing, finding a new metaphor, it can allow people to care for themselves in a different way. There's research that shows that when we think of ourselves in the third person, we treat ourselves with more compassion, we have more perspective. And when you fit yourself into these treat yourself like, it can change the way you treat yourself. So here's a refresher. Listen, we've really got a whole series on these now.
Yes.
We did not intend to do this. They've kind of come along. So first is maybe my personal favorite, which is treat yourself like a toddler, which is not the same thing as treat yourself like a grandchild, for sure. So treat yourself like a toddler is things like, make sure you get a nap if you need it. Don't let yourself get too hungry. Don't let yourself get too hot or too cold. Don't let yourself get overstimulated, because we all know with toddlers, you got to be careful with a toddler. You got to really monitor the physical well-being of a toddler or you're going to pay the price. So treat yourself like a toddler. And I feel like I am one of these people. I get hangry. As you described, Elizabeth, I'm very sleep sensitive. I am somebody who really needs to treat myself like a toddler. But then we have treat yourself like a puppy. What's that?
Yes, which is give yourself unconditional affection and low effort comforts, like a nice soft blanket.
Right. And you wouldn't keep your puppy indoors with no playtime. You wouldn't give your puppy only unhealthy food. You give yourself what you would give to a puppy. Then there's treat yourself like a professor, which is more about allowing yourself to pursue your curiosities, giving yourself permission to ask questions, arranging to take time off like summers and sabbaticals, having office hours where people are allowed to come and seek your counsel at certain times, but then other times you're not available because like a professor, you have office hours, but then when you're not at office hours, they're supposed to leave you alone.
And then there's treat yourself like a factory, which is encouraging scheduled maintenance breaks so you can keep running smoothly.
Yes, because this is the thing about factories is that with a factory, if they don't do scheduled maintenance breaks, then things break down and they have unscheduled breaks. And that is really inefficient. Then everything is an emergency. If you schedule it, you can figure out how to manage around it. So this is the idea that don't let yourself go until you burn out and simply cannot go any further, but take the time mindfully when you need it so that you can plan and organize and do it with intention rather than just letting something happen.
Adam said this. Apparently, this is a very common phrase, but I never heard it before, which is if you don't take time for wellness, you'll take time for illness.
Oh, that's exactly right. That's perfect for treat yourself like a factory. Okay, so we have treat yourself like a toddler, treat yourself like a puppy, treat yourself like a professor, treat yourself like a factory, and treat yourself like a grandchild is give yourself a little bit of spoiling, a little bit of indulgence, some play, some comfort, some unconditional love, some little treats, favorite foods like Pop-Tarts, doting, cozy, comforting. I think that's the grandchild vibe.
Yes, it's all warmth and love. And definitely there's the fun element.
Exactly. There's the fun element. Now, of course, this may not be the kind of grandparents you had.
Yes.
The way you were treated as a grandchild may not be this way. But you can be the grandchild of any grandparents that you like. You are the grown-up here. You are deciding how to treat yourself. So what does this mean for you? If a grandparent was going to dote on you, spoil you, give you all sorts of little treats and play, what would that look like?
Gretchen, I love that this is just a reframing, which, I love reframing.
Yep.
Reframing self-care.
Right, because this is the thing is I feel like vocabulary really matters and that metaphors matter. People respond differently. It's I love a project, like the Happiness Project, but other people don't like a project. I don't like a journey. Other people love the metaphor of the journey. Or you have a house in your office. Is that a library? Is that an office? Is that a study? People respond to different things. And I think that this is a way to harness that energy by Well, partly self-care, I feel like now is like such a tired word that it's just become kind of meaningless. And so it's not helpful. But then also, like, I would say grandchild is very adjacent to puppy, but one might really respond to the idea of a puppy better or whatever it might be. And it's also to seek the term that you need, because really, if you look at all of these, they are all related to what you might call self-care.
But with treat yourself like a grandchild, though, there really is that sort of loving aspect of you are just great as who you are.
Yes.
And you don't need to be anybody else. Yes. We love you just the way you are.
Yes.
Just for showing up and being here.
The doting. The doting.
Yes. And I think that is a nice little mental hug that we can all give ourselves.
Yes. No, there's a strong association there. Yeah, so I think it's good to have these words because it allows people to pick and choose sort of what they need and what they want. So let us know if you do try this at home and how treating yourself like a grandchild works for you. How do you treat yourself like a grandchild? And if you have a suggestion for another in this set, Elizabeth, we did not start out thinking of this, but now I'm really intrigued. I feel like there could be more. I love that there's factory in there. I feel like factory is so different from the other ones. You're like, whoa. Yes. Yeah, that adds like a thrill to the whole list. I would love to make the list even longer. Let us know on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook. Drop us an email at podcast@GretchenRubin.com. Or as always, you can go to the show notes. This is happiercast.com/586.
Coming up, we've got a happiness hack from an upholder. But first, this break.
This message comes from Harvard Business School Executive Education.
Now is the time to invest in yourself and change the world with your voice. Our programs connect you with faculty at the forefront of their fields, introduce you to a global network of leaders, and help you step into your full potential.
The next chapter is yours. Let us help you write it.
Apply today to accelerate your future.
Learn more at hbs.me/accelerate. That's hbs.me/accelerate.
I've been trying to say yes more to little adventures. Nothing huge, just getting out of the routine and going somewhere different for the day. And it really makes you appreciate having a car that feels solid and comfortable, where you're not thinking about the drive, you're just focused on where you're going. That's what stood out to me about the Defender. It has that rugged design, but it also feels really thoughtful inside. And I like that there's a full lineup, from the 2-door 90 to the 110 and the 130 with seating for up to 8. So it really fits different kinds of plans.
And it's built with those durable, purposeful materials so you can actually use it without worrying about every little thing. It also has features that make driving feel easier, like ClearSight technology and the Pivi Pro system, so you can keep track of where you're going and everything you want to listen to along the way. Plus, with up to 89 cubic feet of cargo space and available 3 rows, it gives you a lot of flexibility depending on what you're bringing with you. Explore the full Defender lineup at LandRoverUSA.com.
Amazon Health AI presents Painful Thoughts.
Why did I search the internet for answers to my cold sore problem? Now I'm stuck down a rabbit hole filled with images of alarmingly graphic sores in various stages of ooze. I can clear my search history, but I can never unsee that.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. Amazon Health AI gets you the right care, fast. Healthcare just got less painful.
And now for a happiness hack, and this comes from our listener, Hannah, and this was a hack that is super useful for me because, like Hannah, I also have habits that I try to do every single day, and that can get stressful.
Yeah, Hannah says, during your episode about taffy, you mentioned that you were pausing 2 of your daily habits during the acclimation period for the puppy. It came up, though, that you were struggling with how that would affect your 2025 goal of doing those every day. I appreciated Liz's statement that it should be treated like your trips out of town, but I also wanted to chime in with something that has helped my own upholder brain handle situations like this. As a person who struggles with frequent migraines, I fretted over setting goals of doing something every day. What if I woke up with a migraine? I can't run with one of those. My upholder state of mind stopped me from making the everyday goal many times for fear of the what if factor. Weather, health, kids, and schedule conflicts were common concerns. What finally helped me overcome it was semantics. I started wording goals as things I do daily, as in I floss my teeth daily, I practice banjo daily, I weed the garden daily. For me, this felt less restrictive. It shows that it's a consistent part of my routine without feeling so rigid. In the end, it was all a matter of phrasing.
I love this. I'm absolutely adopting this. And again, like if you don't know what we're talking about with upholders, that's one of the 4 tendencies, along with questioners, obligers, rebels. You can take the quiz at GretchenRubin.com and all will be revealed. But I love this idea of doing something daily. It is funny how that just feels less rigid.
Yes.
Rigidity is an issue for upholders typically, and can be very stressful to think, I'm really committing to this every day. And yet I want to commit to doing something every day. And I completely agree. There's something about saying that it's daily that it just feels different.
It makes me think of a daily constitution. I feel like that was a common phrase back in the day.
Kind of adjacent to this, because it goes to rigidity, is I used to get really, and this was another suggestion from a listener, I mean, years ago, but I think about it all the time. So one thing about upholders, and I think a lot of people are like this, I think you're like this, Elizabeth, even though you're not an upholder, it's like, I really want to be on time. And I get very stressed if I know that I'm running late. Like if I say I'm coming to your house at 7, I get really stressed. And what this person suggested was give a range. So say, I'll be at your house sometime between 7 and 7:15. And knowing myself, like I really want to get there at 7, but I know that I am not late until I say 7:15. And so then it just really dramatically lowers my anxiety and my feeling like I'm breaking my word because I haven't committed to that specific time. And the fact is, usually people don't really care.
Right.
For most things, it doesn't really matter. You might know that intellectually, and yet you still feel that discomfort in knowing that you're running late. Of course, some people don't care about that at all. But if this is something that stresses you out. So I think that's another way, like if this rigidity is hard for you. And it reminds me of something in terms of like trying to do something every day or daily. This was very funny. And this is what I'm using with my 13 daily plie, because now I'm not saying squats. So my college roommate, her husband was like this super athletic guy. And he had some kind of strange exercise he did in their backyard. I don't even remember what it was. Like in my mind, it was something like he would climb a pole. It can't have been that, but it was something like, it was like climbing a pole or something like that. And his rule was he did it if it occurred to him. If he thought of it, he had to do it. But if he didn't think of it, he didn't have to do it. So he didn't put it on the calendar. It was just like, when you think of it, do it. And that's how I'm doing my 13 plies. And it just occurs to me throughout the day. And of course, looking at my 26 for 26 list helps. And so I don't try to do them. It's not like every time I get in the elevator, I do it, or every time I'm waiting for my coffee, I do it. But if I think of it while I'm in the elevator, or I think of it while I'm waiting for my coffee, then I do it. And that's another way of doing it very regularly, but without giving myself the stress of saying, I have to do it every day, or I have to do it at this exact time, because then I start getting that worry and that sense of rigidity.
And have you been doing it a lot?
I have. And I'm not even trying to track it. Like, am I doing it twice a day or whatever? I'm just like, when it occurs to me, I do it. Now, I worry that I might just forget to do it.
Right. And then you could forget for 6 months.
Right. But I've started doing it enough. And there's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I do feel like I get restless. I don't know about you, Elizabeth. Well, maybe because you have the treadmill desk, you don't have this as much, but I do so much sitting that I do get restless, and it does feel good to do something effortful with my legs. It just feels good. So I think that's another thing that helps me to stick to it, because sometimes I just feel like I need to do something to exercise my legs a little bit. So I haven't.
I like doing that when I'm brushing my teeth, because that feels like such wasted time.
Yeah.
That it adds some value. Not that it is wasted time, because nothing's more important than brushing our teeth, but it feels like wasted time.
And I do it sometimes in the elevator especially when I'm taking one of the dogs out for a walk, because they're just there like staring up both me with their big eyes, and I'm just in the elevator. And I do have enough. I have done it, and it's exactly the right length for 13 plies. So in that sense, it's it exactly fits the time. There's something satisfying about that.
Perfect.
Well, and speaking of the 4 tendencies, upholders, questioners, obligers, and rebels, we got an interesting listener question related to the 4 tendencies, also from an upholder, from Jennifer.
Says, my question is, as an upholder, do you ever find it difficult to meet all of your inner and outer expectations? I'm an upholder, and I generally don't have a problem meeting inner and outer outer expectations, but I still run into the problem of time. I get up early in the morning and work out, house clean, and spend time with my kids as we eat breakfast. I do well at work and feel good about my performance, taking on extra responsibilities whenever possible. I get home and catch up with my husband and kids before settling down to read and get a good night's sleep. Weekends are divided between household chores, errands, kids' events, and date night with my husband. With all of these good habits and routines, I still get the feeling that the people in my life are not happy with the amount of time I spend with them. I also feel like I would like a little more me time. And while I don't feel a sense of rebellion coming on, I feel a little bit like my equally important inner and outer expectations are playing tug of war inside my head. Any suggestions?
Well, my observation is that time is limited. It sounds like Jennifer is making excellent use of her time. And sometimes we just come up against the limits of time and that there just isn't time for everything. And so I think the thing is to think about, well, do I want to sacrifice certain things for other priorities? Like once a month instead of a date night, do I want to have a night with my friends? Like you sort of have to say everything isn't going to fit. And maybe not. Or maybe you say, well, this isn't a season of life. Or can I combine things? Like if I'm going to run errands, can I run errands with a friend? I used to do that in high school all the time. I'm a huge fan of running errands with friends and to try to like load things up, because the problem is it just sounds like Jennifer's using her time really well and she's just running out of time. If you work and you have kids and you've got a relationship, like it's a lot. But I think she's wise to be thinking about it, because I think, say, friendships, I think sometimes people are like, well, I don't have time for friends right now for like a decade.
Right.
That's not a good idea. You need time for friends. And there is this feeling of I'm constantly not quite living up to doing everything 100%. And I think we sometimes just have to understand that, okay, maybe I'm going to be doing everything not as well as I would like because I just am running out of time and I just have to cram things in. I think, sometimes you just run up against
the clock.
You run up against the clock. Now, one thing you can do is you can step back and look at the whole year instead of like saying, I'm going to manage it week to week, and say like, okay, but 12 times a year, can I do something with my friends? Or is there a way to think about it going up a level? Or maybe I don't have time for my friends, but we're going to arrange to go away for the weekend together and have like a really intense time together.
Yeah.
You can think about it, but I also do things. I think the idea of balance is like if you get everything in perfect proportions, you can fit it all in. And sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, especially when kids are young.
There's a lot of claims on our time.
Okay, Gretchen, we have a secret of adulthood.
So this secret of adulthood is one of my favorites. It's that a quest is more fun than a jaunt.
And I 100% agree with this. This is so true.
Yeah. So I was thinking about it because recently I went to Chicago with Eliza, my daughter, my older daughter, with our mother. And this came about because Eliza is writing her master's thesis about dollhouses. And if you don't know about Chicago, Chicago has two really important things if you're interested in dollhouses. One is the Colleen Moore Fairy Castle, which Elizabeth, you and I saw when we were really little at the Museum of Science and Industry. I still, to this day, have the catalog of the Fairy Castle, which Eliza says she's looked at a million times. May have been one of the reasons that she got interested in the dollhouse. So we wanted to see the Fairy Castle, which is gorgeous. There's also kind of very scholarly, at the Art Institute, are what are called the Thorne miniature rooms. And these are very historically accurate, dozens of rooms of different historical periods in miniature. So Eliza, she's doing these dollhouses. I thought of Chicago. Chicago's only an hour away from Kansas City, so it's super easy from Kansas City. So we thought, let's make a weekend out of it. Like, you need to see these dollhouses, or like maybe you don't need to see these dollhouses, but you would like to see these dollhouses. Chicago is super fun. Let's all meet and let's just go for a couple nights. The Art Institute also happens to have Joseph Cornell's work. He's one of my favorite artists, and he's very kind of dollhouse adjacent. But having that quest gave a purpose and a focus to the trip. And I think it also gave us the idea for the trip, because like there was so many reasons why going to Chicago was a super convenient and easy and a great adventure. But I'm not sure it would have even occurred to us to think, why don't we do this? You know what I mean? It just, why would it have even come about? But having this quest, everything kind of coalesced around it.
Yes. Well, it's like when we decide we're going to do a reading retreat. Even that is kind of a quest. It's a quest to read.
No, absolutely. And there's something about saying like, well, we're going to go to the flea markets of Paris rather than we're just going to Paris.
Yes.
Or we're going to go eat barbecue in Kansas City rather than we're just going to go visit Kansas City. It somehow gives shape to something. I also think of people who do things like, I'm going to find the best burger in Atlanta, or I'm going to visit every Major League Baseball stadium or whatever.
Yes.
These little quests, they just add some whimsy, love whimsy. They also give you a reason to do something. And sometimes, scheduling is life. And it gave us a reason to put something on the schedule.
Well, Gretch, we're starting the whole process of looking at colleges for Jack. And that is the definition of having a quest.
Yes.
That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I love college campuses.
Yes. And it's always fun to go to a new place and look around, and it gives you a reason to go to places that you wouldn't otherwise go.
Okay, coming up, I give myself a shoe demerit. But first, this break. Lately, I've been trying to simplify what I wear day to day. Just pieces that feel easy but still put together. I do not want to overthink it. And I have been reaching for Quince a lot. No surprise there. Everybody knows my love for Quince. I love their linen pieces. They're so breathable, but they still look polished. They're the kind of thing you can wear all day and not think about changing.
And when I saw the price, I honestly double-checked. Everything is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands because Quince works directly with ethical factories. Like you, Elizabeth, I just find that Quince makes getting dressed simpler and the pieces actually hold up. Quince uses premium materials like European linen and organic cotton, so you're getting quality without the usual markup. Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/Gretchen for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Gretchen for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Gretchen.
Hey, it's Julie Louis-Dreyfus from Wiser Than Me, etc. Just popping in with a little reality check. Food waste shouldn't exist. There is no reason that our leftovers should end up in a landfill, but that's the final destination for about a third of the food we grow. God, our ancestors would be confused. They use their food scraps as compost, or as animal feed, or in weird soups, all the stuff we did before garbage was invented. But composting is hard work. Living with a bucket of rotten food on your counter is gross. Most food goes in the trash because it's easy. And these days, we'll take any easy we can get. But now there's something easier. Drop your scraps in a mill food recycler. It looks like a kitchen bin and an iPhone had a baby. It takes nearly anything, even meat and bones. It works automatically. You can keep filling it for weeks, and it never smells. When you finally empty it, you've got these nutrient-rich grounds. Use them in your garden, pour them in your green bin, or have Mill get them to a small farm so the food you don't eat can help grow the food you do, just like it should be. It's why I own a mill, why I invest in Mill, and why I'm still obsessed with my mill. If you want to get obsessed too, go to mill.com/wiser to get $75 off. That's mill.com/wiser for $75 off.
Hey there, it's Gretchen and Elizabeth. Before this podcast continues, we'll need you to fill out 37 forms about your listening history. We'll wait. Just kidding. That would be ridiculous. Yet we all do it every time we need health care.
But new Amazon Health AI is different. It can connect your health history to offer personalized care so you can get help fast. Amazon Health AI. Healthcare just got less painful.
Okay, listen, it's time for Demerits and Gold Stars, and this is an even-numbered episode, which means that it's your turn to talk about a demerit.
Okay, Gretch, well, last week I gave everybody a gold star for sending me their black shoe suggestions.
Yes.
Very much appreciate that. Now, my demerit is I found a pair that I wanted, which actually weren't black. They were gunmetal with black on them.
Oh,
which
yeah.
I kind of decided would be easier to wear because, again, I'm struggling with this whole heaviness of the black sneaker.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But then I didn't get them because, I have a hard time actually buying something.
Yes.
And now I can't find them. So I should have just bought them. So I am still, it might just be a weird thing. I'm still hoping that they'll pop up and I find them again. But it's just a lesson of at least I should have sent myself a link.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if you really want something, you should go ahead and get it because it will sell out or it will become unavailable for whatever reason.
Yes.
You don't want to buy impulsively, but if you're really looking for something and you find it, it's okay to just go ahead and get it.
Well, you and I struggle with this with airplane tickets, which is always like, but maybe this isn't the most convenient time. And you should have this.
I'm struggling with that as we speak, Gretch.
I know.
I should have bought some airplane tickets a month ago.
No, the best time to buy your airplane tickets
is a month ago.
Was 6 months ago. The second best time is now, for sure.
Yes.
Right. But there's always this idea of well, maybe it'll end up being inconvenient. But the thing is that if I buy that ticket, sure enough, that's the one that's going to get canceled or delayed. But I don't know that. It's not like time will reveal that. That's true of every single ticket that I would buy. So it just cancels out.
Yes.
It's true of every ticket.
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that. That'll be my secondary demerit is not having bought plane tickets I need to buy. And I will do that today.
Okay, good. Okay,
Gretch, what is your gold star?
Well, I'm going to give myself a gold star related to the Chicago trip because I did think, this would make a great little trip. It was my idea. I saw the Eliza of it all, our mother of it all, and that we could do it and that just 2 nights would be enough to have a real adventure. And Elizabeth, I constantly have to say scheduling is life. And so I had to work with Eliza, work with Mom, figure it out. Where are we going to stay? Get the plane tickets, which as we just said, never want to get a plane ticket. And it all worked out.
It sounded like such a fun trip.
It was such a fun trip. And I'm so glad we did it. And it was easy. It's a pretty short trip from New York City. As I said, very short from Mom. She and Dad lived in Chicago for a while, so she knows Chicago. It was really fun for her to be back. Everything about it was great. I did have to say to myself, we should do this and I will do the work to get it underway. And all these things, it's not that big a deal.
Right.
But it's just this piece, this piece, this piece, and you've got to keep it in motion. So I'm giving myself a gold star because I'm really glad it happened.
Well, I'll give you a gold star too.
Okay, thank you. I love those gold stars.
Yes.
The resource for this week, we are entering into graduation season. And if you know someone who is graduating or maybe a recent graduate, I put together a gift guide of some of my favorite gifts to give to someone who is graduating. I love a gift guide. I did consult with Eliza and Eleanor. Mm-hmm. You can check it out at happiercast.com/graduation.
And Gretch, another good graduation gift is your book, Secrets of Adulthood.
Oh, what a good sister. Yes, it is very good for graduation. Yes. And Alyssa, speaking of books, what are we reading? What are you reading?
I am reading The Mona Lisa Vanishes by Nicholas Day.
And I am reading Salem's Lot by Stephen King. And that's it for this episode of Happier. Remember to try this at home. Treat yourself like a grandchild. Let us know if you tried it and if it worked for you.
Thanks to our executive producer, Chuck Reed, and everyone at Lemonada.
Here comes your rhyming reminder. Fan of the podcast? Review it fast.
Until next week, I'm Elizabeth Kraft.
And I'm Gretchen Rubin. Thanks for joining us. Onward and upward. So, Elizabeth, I think that our grandparents and North Platte will always be, in my mind, associated with Pop-Tarts. I don't even know that we ate that many Pop-Tarts, but it was such the thing that we could get in North Platte.
I think we ate a lot of Pop-Tarts.
Did we eat all the Pop-Tarts?
Yes, I did.
Maybe we did.
I definitely did.
Oh, yeah.
And Sunkist and Grape Crush.
Yeah, I remember how you liked Grape Crush. I never liked that as much, but I definitely liked the Pop-Tarts.